Ladies and gentlemen, today I think I bring you the most expensive build I have done on this channel up to date, and I am really looking forward to this. So move over, run, because this is not a woodworking project. This is probably my first metalworking project, and today we are building Thors hammer. Yeah, so this is a prototype I've made out of cardboard to try and minimize my wastage and stuff like this. I've taken a lot of inspiration from Brain Foo. In fact, it's pretty much running off of his designs. So I'll put a link to his video down below so you can check that out. I'm going to try and aim for a heavier hammer than Brain Foo, which should make this the heaviest hammer in the UK on YouTube, maybe, right? But we're going to try. We're going to aim for it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So let's go. Got a couple of packages here. I have this one here, which is 10 kilograms of 5mm mild steel, and I got these cut to size from a website called Buy Metal Online. So no messing about there, pretty much. The only problem is they don't cut under 100mm. So one of these pieces will be for the edging pieces, which are about 23mm. I've gone down to the millimetre on here to try and get it as accurate as I can. Now for the handle, I got an engineer in Ripley to do this because I don't have the equipment to do this. This is 32mm mild steel, once again, and he's cut the grooves into it on a lathe, which I just wouldn't have been able to do in this shed. And I've weighed this, and this is about 2 kilograms. So we've got 10 kilograms in metal, 2 kilograms in the handle. And for the filling, just like Brain Foo did in his video, we will be filling it with lead. So I got some of this. This came off eBay. It was super cheap. And if I need any more, there is a company nearby I can go get some off of. So just in this box is 20 kilograms of lead itself. And this is ridiculously heavy. I'm aiming for the hammer to be about 60 kilograms roughly, so about 130 pounds. So let's try and do this. So I'm going to put a link down to Brain Foo's page about how he wrote about this. He didn't write very good instructions, so this is pretty much why a prototype was really needed for me. I'll put down some measurements as well. Probably on screen or down below, so you can see what I'm trying to work with here. But this is pretty much a replica scale, pretty much. So once this is done, we're going to be something like this. So I think that's going to look pretty good to me. Now it's going to get really complicated because it's got angles in it, and everything needs to match up perfectly, otherwise nothing's going to match up at all. I don't normally ramble this much, but I really want you guys to build this if you have the means to build this. So we're going to try this out. By the way, this handle, I had to search everywhere to get someone to build this for me. Engineers are probably the people that can put a handle on a lathe. So to get these angles, I'm going to use a bevel gauge. So this is only made out of cardboard, so I'm going to pick the best angle that I have, which is probably that one. And what I'll do is we just bring this up until the bevel gauge is flat. And that is our edge. So at 28 millimeters, I'm going to mark all of my edges. So you can see that. So this is really thick metal. This is 5mm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score this with the angle grinder and then bend it round until it meets up with the bevel gauge. So I'm going to mark the others and then we'll come to this step next. So I'm looking at all the scribbles on this sheet of paper, and what I need to do is this will need to be cut into 23mm slices, and I'll need 4 of them for this part here. But this part here also has this cut in it. So what I'll do first is mark out this cut here, so they're all going to be the same later on. Right, so now that one's on. I now need to get 23mm strips cut out of this. So what I'll do is set this to 23. And I'll start marking this out. What I'm going to do is mark it out one at a time, then cut it, because I'm not sure how much I'm going to lose when cutting it. So we'll mark this out first. So that there is my first 23mm. And these ones here are 110mm squares. These will need their corners cutting off. I'm not quite sure the best way of doing that yet, because these strips also need their corners cutting off. So I'll probably do that when I'm welding it up. Something like that. We're going to work on that later. Anyway, these ones are pretty good, so we can just put these aside for now. These all need cutting up. So let's start getting to the angle grinder. So I've got this extra thin cutting disc. We've got our piece locked into the vise so far. We're going to put this onto the angle grinder and just cut in little grooves, enough for us to tap it round with a hammer to get it to match that bevel gauge. So let's sort this out. So that's all these angles bent into these side panels. I now just need to cut out these 23mm strips from this 100mm piece of mild steel. So this is the way that I've come up with clamping it. It's solid now, and it just about clears the vise. So we're going to try and cut these out. 100mm got me 4 slices of 23mm. They're a little bit rough. It was really hard to cut them out. I think we're a few mil over on some spots, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I can file it down later. They're really hot. Next job is to cut these that we marked earlier and then bend these round to the right angle. I'm trying to work to a diagram at the moment, and I'll put it up on screen what it is that I'm actually trying to do. So on the faces, the square bits at the front, this bit right here comes down to a 45-degree angle, but I think something's gone wrong a little bit in my measuring, that this isn't going to cover that 45-degree angle. It's just short. So I'm trying to work out what's best to do. And what I think I'll do is I'll just bring it down to a point like this. And I don't know if you can see that, but I've drawn literally a point on here. So these should be 23 millimeters. I can't remember what we got. 23 millimeters. So I've pretty much done about 11 millimeters to find a rough middle and joined them up to the edges. So what I'm thinking is that's going to fit perfectly in there. I've just remembered I've got a white marker. That would have made the first step a lot easier. So this is what I'll be cutting out. So I'm going to cut off these 2 edges. So what I've done is cut the corners off of this, and it should fit really well. The only problem is that it's a little bit too thick to fit into this gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like sand these to a real point at the end. That way it will fit into that space really nicely. So that's all these grounded down to a point. They look like a pretty lethal weapon now. This one will be the bottom. Still got to drill the hole out for that. That piece that will go in there. So I've got a 32mm metal hole cutter here. And that's going to cut this. We need to find the centre. So I'm just going to draw a line from the corner to corner. And I'm quite happy with that. I've got a centre punch here. I'm going to put that on there and give it a whack. My camera's actually on my table at the moment, so this is going to shake the camera, so just bear with me. And that's that hole. Let's go hook this up and drill a hole. So we're all set up. Get some power on. I've got some 3-in-1 oil I'm just going to put on, just to give it a little bit of lubrication. Here we have the hole. I drilled it from both sides, so there's very little tear out, so it's not that sharp. The moment we've all been waiting for, the handle. Oh, yes. I am excited for that. Look at that. Woo! Oh my God. This is going to be so good. So good. This is a bit of a mess at the moment, but I have this Parkside welder that I got from Lidl, and I didn't know if it was going to have enough power to weld these pieces of steel. I mean, this is 5mm steel. So what I've done is I've welded this. I'll show you. And I've absolutely beaten it so it was straight. And I've tried to see if I could snap this weld, and I can't. So I'm happy to say that this little welder will weld this steel quite happily. Now, I don't know much about welding and I don't know much about steel. So let's get started with welding with this for the hammer. So I'm going to be doing a montage, and I've got a couple of people that want to lift this with me. Alright? So there's only one kind of montage that we need. So let's go. Here I have 20 kilograms of lead. We're going to melt this down and shove it inside the hammer. So let's go. And welcome to the Wiz Spencer Cooking Show. To pick up some bathroom scales that aren't made of glass, so I've been quite excited for this. We're going to see the moment of truth. How heavy is this hammer? Oh, Christ. Okay, it's hard to tell, but it's about bang on 50 kilos, so it's nearly 8 stone. Okay, it's not as heavy as I'd wanted it to be. I wanted it to be at least 60 odd, but I'll take 50. This hammer is 50 kilograms. So I've got here some fake leather, tan brown, and this is the one that's going to go around the handles. So I've got some mitre bond, some of the glue, and we're going to glue some of this on, and hopefully these should be good. So there we go. Thors hammer is finally complete. I haven't put any of the etching or anything on it. That might be a video for another time. So the plan is to drop this thing, do a bit of damage to it. So I don't want to do anything nice to it just yet, because I'm gonna have to redo it later, aren't I? I want to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers. This is the 1000 subscribers special, and I am really overwhelmed by the amount of people that actually enjoy what I do. From an idiot in the shed, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys. So if you guys want to see a few people lift this hammer and see if we can get it above someone's head, make sure you like and subscribe and follow up for the next video. I'll catch you guys next time.